1993, alternative rock was booming, and punk had become firmly embedded in the mainstream. No band pushed back harder against the commodification of the underground than Fugazi. With the release of their third LP, In on the Kill Taker, the poster children for DIY punk ethics found themselves caught up in one of the most turbulent times in the subculture's history. While bands like Nirvana were exploiting the major label's sudden interest in underground music, Fugazi refused to follow a typical business plan. Singer-guitarist Ian MacKaye ran their label, Discord Records, out of his house in Arlington, Virginia. The band maintained a strict all-ages policy at their shows, which never cost more than $5. They never made a set list, they never released singles, and they never made merchandise. When Fugazi set out to create In on the Kill Taker, co-frontmen MacKaye and Guy Picciotto, bassist Joe Lawley, and drummer Brendan Canty had been together for 5 prolific years, recording 2 full-length albums, 1990's Repeater and 1991's Steady Diet of Nothing. They'd also toured relentlessly. Before Kill Taker, they'd played nearly 500 shows, including one in front of the White House to protest the first Gulf War. The group initially began work on the album in Chicago with legendary punk producer Steve Albini. After returning home, the band received a disappointed fax from Albini reading, "I think we dropped the ball." The band scrapped the Chicago sessions and re-recorded the entire album in D.C., this time sharing production duties with Ted Nicely, who'd produced Repeater. In on the Kill Taker is defined by moments of soft experimentation and laser-cut punk prowess. The bursts of feedback on Kill Taker's opening track, Facets Squared, announced Fugazi's ambitious sonic vision. While MacKaye's lyrics, calling irony the refuge of the educated, stand in stark contrast to alternative rock's slacker apathy. When the song reaches its noise rock coda, Picciotto takes over with Public Witness Program, in a handoff that neatly illustrates Fugazi's communal spirit. Smallpox Champion alludes to one of the first instances of biological warfare in U.S. history. In the 1760s, when General Jeffrey Amherst gave Native Americans smallpox-laced blankets, the song positions Amherst's atrocity as the byproduct of colonialism and the inhumanity it produces. Cassavetes is the band's artistic homage to the famed filmmaker John Cassavetes, whose DIY spirit mirrored Fugazi's. He self-financed and directed his own work and pioneered the American indie film industry. Fugazi reflects the director's formal experiments with post-punk dissonance. In on the Kill Taker became the closest thing that Fugazi had to a breakout album. Ironically, the stature they'd achieved through uncompromising independence began attracting the very same music industry types they were trying to avoid. They were recorded by nearly every major label in the country, including Geffen, home to Nirvana. While he's never revealed the specifics, MacKaye has admitted that Fugazi said no to multiple million-dollar record deals. Their refusal to cash in on their reputation became material for urban legends, like the one where they turned down a suitcase full of cash from Atlantic Records founder Ahmet Ertegun backstage at New York City's Roseland Ballroom. The success of In on the Kill Taker came as a shock. It was the first Fugazi record to break the Billboard Top 200, charting at number 153, inexplicably bringing the band face-to-face with the mainstream. The album inspired an infamous review in Rolling Stone, where the publication called Fugazi the only band that matters. Even with all the critical acclaim and access to big money, Fugazi stayed true to themselves, ensuring that punk's DIY past would continue to influence its future.